I mean, globally, I'm no phenomenon, but my approach is a little unorthodox. Hi, my name is Dick Kid, and I'm here to save the world. I got a legend in the house today. I mean, this guy needs no introduction, but I feel an obligation to do like the Sway introductions. Like it was but I feel like it could be cursed too, because if I do that, I don't want it to be like the old Kanye interview either. So
I'll sway.
what's good, man? I got white gold in the house, guys. I mean, this guy's a star, a Grammy nominated artist. We were just talking. He said he's in Heaven Studios right now. And are you cooking
Yeah.
up something right now?
Yeah. I'm just working with Royce on some stuff. Like, got a couple surprises coming soon.
Dude, that's amazing. Well, let's jump right into that. Can you talk to me a little bit about your relationship with Royce?
Yeah. Our relationship started through his manager, Kino. I
Um,
knew his manager. Um, like, I knew his manager first, and you know, I was working with his manager's one of his other artists, and he heard some of my actual, like, my own artist stuff, and was like, "Yo, this is like dope. Um,
because you were a
do you mind if I
producer
do?"
before, right? Like you were a
Yeah,
producer.
yeah. Yeah, I
Okay.
was a producer, and I kind of got into songwriting just because I was working with younger artists,
Mm,
and a lot of times they didn't really have focus on where they wanted to go musically, and like I've always been someone that has like a vision of like where things should go. I have a really good grasp on concepts and
mm.
things like that. So it was easy for me to like start writing because I already had like the big structures in place, basically.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, that makes wait. So wow, that's crazy. So when you start writing something, like if you hear a beat you like or something, does it just flow for you? Like, all right, I'm because I don't know if this is true or not. I heard that you wrote like the Zeus hook in like 15 minutes. Is that true?
Oh yeah. I wrote it in like 5 minutes actually, but like I
What?
recorded, I recorded it in like 10 minutes afterwards. So like 15 minutes overall, basically. Yeah, it just came to me. It was just the vibe of the record. I don't write outside of making music, so like
Okay.
I don't have like a journal that like I jot shit down in and all of that. I do like have a notes page where like I have things that are cool ideas, maybe like
Uh,
cool concepts or something like that. But there, I find like I very seldom draw from that. Like I kind of just like to go on what the beat is giving me, the emotion that the beat is giving me.
okay. Well, I like that a lot.
Starting off as a producer, um, that was something that like came kind of like innate to me, is just how to like pinpoint emotions, within records. Like it's funny because it was literally like the day after Swiss Beats and Jay-Z had won the Grammy for On to the Next One.
Uh,
A friend of mine, Dida Omen, put me and Swiss Beats on the phone together, and Swiss has heard some of my music. And look, at this time, like this was a long time ago, and I didn't think I was that good. I look back
uh,
and I'm like, he'd be like, I'm so much better now. But he got on the phone, man. He was like, man, how do you make your music so emotional? Like I always feel like, every song that I've listened from you, like I felt such an emotion coming out of it. And
yeah.
I was just like, I don't know. It's just something that like I've always been kind of like blessed to like be able to achieve.
The video is pretty sick. Was that filmed at Heaven Studios?
Yeah, that was filmed at Heaven, and yeah, that's Royce's car.
Dude, that's amazing. Oh my
That's
gosh.
Royce's car. That's the parking lot and everything like that. It was just a very impromptu thing. Like I was sitting with Royce, and we were just talking, and he was like, "Why don't you just shoot a video for it?" And literally 5 hours later, we were shooting the video for it. It was just a very quick thing that we wanted to do, and yeah, it kind of worked out. But like that song, also like I got that beat from a friend of mine who she got it as a birthday gift
Okay.
from somebody that she was talking to, and she sent it to me just for me to listen to, and I just was like, man, this is dope. Like, like I just want to kind of like jump on this, and like I just kind of wrote something very like stream of consciousness, kind of drawing from everything that was going on in my life at the time. And I was kind of foreshadowing things. Like it wasn't like it wasn't really what was going on in my life, but it was. I probably felt like the emotion and the spirit in the air was going in that direction, and it kind of did. Like I end up like having relationship problems at that time, but yeah. So I kind of just drew from there, and it's just like from a very palpable place. Like I just
Yeah.
you know, a lot of times like I like to write stuff that I can visualize. Like I can
Hmm.
close my eyes, I can hear the words come to life. So yeah, that's kind of how I write.
Well, dude, I gotta say, I want to backtrack here for a second. I gotta say, man, I'm super grateful to have you on here. I'm a huge fan, and you have one of those iconic voices, dude. You hear it, and there's something to it. But I guess I just wanted to start off. What are you consuming? Like, who are some of your
Oh
inspirations? Like, what do you
man.
listen to on a daily basis? Where are you drawing
um
this inspiration from?
okay, so like lately I don't really tend to listen to that much music anymore.
Okay.
I don't know why. I go through phases. I go through phases like each year. This is around the time of where I don't listen to music. Usually my birthday is on Tuesday.
Oh,
Um,
happy birthday.
yeah, thank you, man. So like usually around like February, March, April, I kind of like have a shutdown of like music, and like I just kind of replenish myself. Um, and it's been happening. It's not like anything like intentional, but it just kind of just happens around this time. So I'm not listening to anything like recently, but when I do listen to music, like I like listening to things from all genres. So like,
Okay.
Paul McCartney is like my favorite songwriter. I love the Beatles. I listen to like Leonard Skinner. Like I
Mm-hmm.
listen to um fuck. I listen to death metal. I
Oh,
listen
wow.
to yeah. I listen to Arch Enemy. Like Metallica is like crazy, one of the craziest bands ever. Iron Maiden. Um, Between the Buried and Me, like their Colors album, like influenced me heavily. Like that's probably
Wow.
just like how I hear certain things, or put um how I can put different genres together and like juxtapose them. I
Mm-hmm.
kind of learned a lot from Between the Buried and Me. Um I love Dillinger Escape Plan, Mastodon.
Yeah.
Uh yeah, what else? Like I listen to jazz, like Herbie, like Chick Corea, like R.I.P. He just died. But yeah, just a ton of stuff, and
So all
you know,
types of stuff. You're
yeah,
consuming
all
like all
types of
different
stuff. Like
genres and
yeah, it's not intentional. I'm just someone that just likes to consume things. So it's all aspects of my life. I read physics journals. Um,
wow. That oh
I,
my gosh, that's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. So like I just like information. I just really like information.
That's interesting. Like, well, because I think people are so complex, right? Like, we have so many different areas that we're interested in. I've actually been super fascinated recently. Like, I don't do drugs. I don't take drugs, but I've been
Yeah,
super
me neither.
fascinated with like psychedelics, like
Oh,
is specifically regarding like PTSD and trauma. Like,
oh,
there's this program in Sweden that I've been learning about, and it's a DMT program, and apparently they have a success rate with a therapist. It's like a guided like ayahuasca
oh,
session to
yeah.
help people with suffering from post traumatic stress or any type of trauma like that they've been through. And apparently it's
Um,
got like an 85% effective rate of
oh,
getting rid of most of that post traumatic stress, which is really fascinating.
oh, yeah. That's for me. I always said that like I wanted to go to like Peru and do ayahuasca and like kind of
Hmm.
like purge, all the for me, like I'm a person that like thinks a lot. Like I'm in my head a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably call myself an obsessive thinker. I think of things from all angles, left and right, A to
Mm-hmm.
Z, one, like, so it's sometimes it's overwhelming to
Mm-hmm.
do something. Oh, you're leaving? Bye. I've always been scared of, you know, um, things that kind of like take control over you. I've
Mm-hmm.
always been someone that like doesn't want to lose control.
Yeah.
So just getting high and all that type of shit is just not for me. Like I used to drink, but I'm Muslim now, so I
Mm-hmm.
I don't think about alcohol or anything like that. And I just kind of never really did. After college, it was not something that it was like, oh, I need to have a beer after work or anything like that.
Right.
For me, drinking served the purpose of like hanging out with my friends, having fun or whatever. And when that stopped, it was okay. Like I don't need to do that anymore.
Well, yeah. Well, that's what I think
So
that's cool about the ayahuasca is because you can't. You're using it for a specific purpose, and it's not like you can
yeah,
abuse it. Like they're not. You're not
yeah,
giving it to you, and you're not abusing it.
yes,
Um.
that's why I want to do it too, because it's
Yeah.
not something that it's gonna be part of my daily life or anything like that, and it's something that's guided as well, right?
Well, it's interesting because like one of my buddies, his friend, just did like an ayahuasca session, taking DMT, and it was fascinating because he was like a hardcore atheist before. Um,
Mhm.
and he had this like trip, and he was like looking in front of him. He sees all these colors. It's so vivid. Like
Yeah.
the trip was so vivid. He actually this is kind of crazy, but he actually experienced from birth to death the life of a gorilla, and he was like in like this pack, this tribe, and he could look down at his arms, and they were hairy, and he could feel it. And
Oh, wow.
he said
What
it was
the?
beautiful. Like he said it was, and he came out of that session. I don't know if it was this specific session, but he came out one of the
Mhm.
sessions being like, "Holy crap! Like how is my mind perceiving this as so real?" And like, there's got to be some sort of creator. There's got to be something out there
Yeah.
that can work my brain like that. Because I mean, your brain is an amazing thing. We can remember like so many different things and lyrics that we.
Mhm.
I was listening to do you remember that song "Remember the Name" by Fort Minor? Do you remember that
Yeah.
song?
Yeah.
That song came on the radio the
Nice
other
to
day.
know that.
That song came on the radio the other day, and I was listening to it. I was like, "Holy crap, man! Like how I remember this rap like fully."
Yeah.
Um, but it's so crazy. I wanted to talk about this though. So talk to me about. So you're on two songs on the Allegory. You're on
Mhm.
Black Savage and you're on Hero, correct? Those two
Yeah.
songs, or
Yep.
is there
Yep.
more?
Yep.
Did you do any
No,
producing?
those are the two songs that I'm on. Yep.
Okay. And what's interesting because when did the Allegory come out? Like February or something, like February
Yeah. It came out
2020.
February 2020. Yeah.
So it came out February 2020. Well, shoot, 2020 has been a big year for you. You were on
Yeah. I
You
was
Gonna
on.
Learn in was that January?
Bruce.
Late January, or was that February
Yeah,
too?
that was January. Yeah, that was January, and then February that came, and then December Zeus came,
Yeah, dude. So you
and
had
I wrote the hook for These Demons as well.
that's right. Okay. That's crazy. That's awesome. So how long did that take?
These Demons, not long either. Probably like 5 minutes.
Hmm.
Yeah, like that's one of my daughter's favorite like hooks.
That song is
Every time
fire, dude. That song is so good.
she just loves that. I told my dogs we gonna get right in the
Dude, that
year.
oh shit. Dude, it's so good, man. Dude, your hooks are so catchy, bro. Like it's crazy. Like, okay, wait, and talk to me about this too. Sorry, I'm kind of going all over the place. I don't know how much time do you have? Do you have
I have time. I have time. I'm not doing anything right now.
All right,
Mm.
man. Well, if we need to stop, just let me know. I'll cut it
I'll
off.
send you music too. I'll send you music for you to hear too.
Oh, for sure, bro. That'd be amazing. Um, so okay, so I don't know if I saw this on a podcast or if I read this. I read some Genius thing that they interviewed you on. Um, but you're buddies with T minus, is that correct?
Yeah, that's like my brother, man. I think tomorrow's his birthday. So yeah,
Wow. Oh my gosh. Happy birthday,
birthday.
T minus. Shout out T minus. And
Yeah.
okay, so talk me through that. So he made the beat for Zeus, correct?
Yeah. All right. So it was just a funny thing. Like, we FaceTime fairly regularly, and like
Mm-hmm.
he'll FaceTime me and just be like, "I miss you, bro. What
Mm-hmm.
the fuck, bro?" You know. And like we just started talking, and we got on. We usually don't even talk about music like that. Like we talk about music, but we talk about like other stuff, like what's going on in music and everything like that. But like,
Mm-hmm.
I guess the topic of Eminem came up, and he was like, "Yo, I've never like worked with him before." Like, and I was like, "Whoa, that's weird because like you've literally worked with everyone." And he was like, "Yeah, like he's just one that like I just never worked with before." And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Bet you, I could get you on his album. Like, I bet you." And he was like, "Yeah, yeah, whatever." I was like, "No, no, no, no. I'm dead serious." I'm like, "I got the plug. He loves my hooks, like, and like, oh man, I got like some texts from Royce, with him and Eminem, where he's just like,
Mm-hmm.
"Yo, that is ridiculous. Like, it's just crazy to hear like M speak on my shit like that. It's crazy."
Yeah, dude, that is
He's like a kid in a candy store. Like when he heard Zeus, he was like, "Is this for me?" like,
and didn't
like
he
he
get
was
that back to
like,
you in like a day or something?
yeah, it was like less than a day. Like it was a few hours like after. So like, yeah, I'm actually coming to that part. So I was like, "Yo, I can get you a placement. Like, don't worry." And I was half joking, but I was like half serious. Like, if I get the right beat from him, like we could definitely get on the album. And
Mm-hmm.
he sent me like four beats. He like texted me like four beats, and that was like the first one that he sent. And so like I listened, and I was like, "Yo, I gotta call you back. Like, I know I could fuck this up." So
Wait, that's
I
so
threw
good.
I threw it into Logic. Just got everything ready. Like, went about my process of just like, you know, cleansing my mind. Like I'll listen to the beat and just like do a bunch of like babbling on it, do melodies. Listen to it once, then mute it, and then I put the beat on again, and then like, fucking, what's the name came up. I be on my own.
Dude, that oh my
Yeah,
god.
and I was like, head up in the clouds like Zeus finna say you in the goat. I come down like who?
And did you
Like,
have him in mind when you're writing that? Like, cause it's like, what you talking
yeah,
to?
because that was
God.
intentional. That was
Right, right.
intentional. I wanted to make a record like for Eminem, so that was intentional. And I was just like, through conversations with Royce and everything like that, it's just like, he's just like, M is just like this guy who is kind of like in an ivory tower basically right
Oh
now.
yeah.
And you know he's damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. So it's just like,
Oh yeah.
you know I was just like, you know what, fuck it, man. Like, just call yourself the GOAT and just fucking go about your business. So that's what, that's the intention that like came up with. And when I changed that note of like who into who, and
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, fucking catchy. Like right when I changed it,
Yeah.
like I knew, like I was like, I come down like who, and I was like, oh my god, this is it. You know, I was like, this is fucking it. And then
Dude, it
after
really
that,
was.
everything else was just like, all right, where else do I go from here when I said that I'm Zeus? So I played with the bird theme, I played with the sky theme, so bird's eye
Mhm.
view. Um, always wanted to make it catchy, so I just repeated the head up in the clouds as
Yeah.
well. And then like, the conversation of what me and Royce and every like had about like how, people just don't appreciate you once you've had a success to a point, you
Mhm.
know. That's how I got the last line. Well, you could give your whole damn life to the music thing. They gonna turn around like they don't love you,
I was
you
gonna
know.
ask you about that actually because
Yeah,
so I love that.
and universal truth within like everywhere, basically. Like you can put your all into a company for 20 years, and then they can say, "Oh, we're having layoffs, so bye." You can put your
Mm,
all into music, and people would be like, "You're too successful now. Like we hate you for no reason," or there's
yeah.
just so many aspects of life of like, you know, I guess it's just like you give so much to a point where it's like you've exhausted that. It's a point to diminishing returns, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard Eminem say like he's got like a blank he started his career out like a blank page and then he's essentially colored every part of it and he tries to do
Yeah.
these new things and um people hate on it and because they try to compare it to what it was originally. Um
Yeah.
but it's interesting because there's definitely an there's definitely a sense of you do get a sense of ageism within the music industry. I feel like a lot in specifically. I mean,
There,
it's in every industry.
yeah, but
Um,
there's a line, a Jay-Z line that says, "Die, die and be a hero, or live long enough to see yourself become a villain."
yeah, oh yeah.
And like that's just like perfect. That just wraps it up perfectly.
Well, you know what's really cool to me is, well, congratulations on your Grammy nomination.
Oh, thank you, man. That was like crazy.
But I wanted to say that the cool thing about the Grammys this year is that so we've got Jay Electronica, who's in his
Hmm.
40s. We've got Royce,
Yeah,
who's in his 40s. We've got
yeah,
Nas, who's in his 40s. We've got Freddie
yeah,
Gibbs, who's like 38, The Alchemist,
yeah,
who I believe is like 41, 40.
yeah.
And 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 then I think
D
we have like
Smoke,
D
Smoke
Smoke.
is in his 30s.
He's in his
Yeah,
mid 30s. Yeah, I think he's like
yeah,
35. Um,
yeah,
but I mean, and none of these ages are old at all. But I will say that for hip hop, I think
yeah.
there's this unspoken thing, and correct me if I'm wrong. There's an unspoken thing where like when rappers hit 40, they're expected to kind of go away almost. Like,
Go
would
away.
you agree with
Yeah,
that?
yeah. But I feel like lately that we've kind of bucked that trend. A lot of that was going on. I think it hit its like peak. It hit its acme probably like 4 years ago. You
Okay.
know,
Yeah.
And then I feel like people were just like, you know what? Why? Like,
Yeah.
why want people to go away? Like, you start looking at people like Rick Ross. You start looking at Jay Z. Like Jay Z gave us 444 at
Oh
like
yeah.
8 years old. Just you start looking at people. Jay Electronica didn't get his notoriety until he was 36 years old.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? Like, and that was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it seems like
So
the Grammys are, I mean, at least in the best hip hop albums in that, at least
yeah,
in that
I feel like
category.
they just went with rap. People that like
Uh-huh.
are
Yeah.
rapping, and I know that a lot of people were like frustrated that like people like Lil Baby and stuff like weren't nominated for those. But I feel like those records should be nominated for albums of the year, like
Mm-hmm.
the general category.
Oh, right.
And
Yeah, that's true.
like they should be nominated for because those are like the real mainstream. They are rap, but like they're also like there's a lot of melody with it, so it's kind of a hybrid thing. Like create the hybrid category or whatever,
Yeah,
because
and
times change, so you can, if things are changing, then adapt to those changes. But
yeah.
also like they also deserve, like, Roddy Rich and all of them, they deserve to be in album of the year consideration. Not every like doesn't always have to be Taylor Swift,
Yeah.
like just fucking annoying.
Yeah, well, I mean, Roddy Ricch and Lil Baby, like Lil Baby's nominated for 2 Grammys, I think. The Bigger Pictures.
Yeah, but like I think they're like singles, right?
Yeah, singles, that's
He was
true.
nominated for the one where it was about like Black Lives Matter,
Hmm.
right? And I think Roddy Rich is nominated for The Box,
The
which
Box,
I
yeah,
was
that's right, yeah.
fucking amazing. You
That
know,
is, you know what a really slept on song on that album is are you a Roddy Ricch fan?
yeah, yeah, I love
Dude,
him.
have you heard the song Big Stepper?
Yeah, I love that
Dude, that
record.
song is so hard. I love that song.
I love Roddy Rich because he's an intentional person. You know, I saw like an interview where he said like, I don't just go into the studio and smoke and vibe or whatever. Like I go in
Hmm.
there with an intention to make good music.
Yeah.
And I love that. Like I feel like a lot of people kind of like just go into the studio and just go, all right, I'm just gonna think about whatever comes on the top of my head, the first thing, and just roll with that. But like he's very intentional and it shows and it cut through,
Hmm.
So that should just serve as a lesson to other people who are coming up is that like, be intentional with your shit. Like
Hmm.
you know, try and just make sure that like what you're saying matters.
Hmm.
Even if it's a fun record, like make sure that it matters, bro. Like make sure you're getting it off in a clever way and it's not just run of the mill. I need to like put keywords in here and it's gonna go. It's not. It's not gonna go. And if it does go, it's like novelty shit or whatever. And then like you're just gonna be under the gun to produce something better. And then you might have just fucked yourself over, and the industry's gonna cast you aside. You know.
Royce really seems like the glue to a lot of things. Like he seems like such a mender. Like he mends things. He seems like he's a good friend to so many people, and he's got
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
these deep relationships. And he actually reminds me of my friend Joe a lot. Like he just wants things to be better, and he's very
Yeah.
intentional about what he says, what he does, and uh, yeah. Can you talk to me a little bit about that? Because it seems, I mean,
Yeah. Like the conversations that we have is always about like trying to put value into the universe, trying to put value into society, and just be a good person. Like
mm-hmm,
yeah, like we always talk about stuff like that, and he's always on at the forefront of his mind is we just have to give information to the generation that's coming up next,
mm-hmm,
so that they do better than we do, and that's his main thing is just like, give information so that if you know better, you do better, you
mm-hmm.
know. Yeah, so that's his main thing, and like he's just a solid dude. He's just a
Yeah.
solid individual,
I
has
sense
yeah.
I was gonna say I sense a great deal of like humility. Like he seems like he
Yeah,
really
I mean,
appreciates
because
knowing.
he's gone through different stages of his life. Like, he's gone through the drinking and everything like that, where he was like a totally different person, and he's just more mature. His life is now more stable as far as like what he can affect and the people he brings around him, how he can affect them and have them affect community
Hmm.
outside of him. Is It's more intentional, like he found like when he started being like that, things just started being better for him. So like
Yeah,
that's basically like what he does now is just like he just goes by intention, and it's always good intention.
yeah,
He does never seeks out to harm anybody, but he's never someone to like back down from someone like, trying to like bring negativity or whatever. Like he always
hmm,
tries to stamp that out and, you know, reapply those forces to good,
yeah.
and to pivot that to a good thing.
Well, it seems like the more experiences that someone goes through, the more hardships that they endure. There's a
Yeah.
couple ways they can go. Like one is they could become more bitter and angrier, or they could also be more willing to empathize with other people who are going through the
Yeah.
same things. And it really
Yeah.
seems like he has just such an empathy and um just such an understanding about him.
Yeah,
Um
because I feel like he's just gone through so much that he can empathize with people. Like I take advice from him all the time. Um, I'm just went through like a really, really bad breakup, and it wasn't either of our faults.
yeah,
You know, this the person that I'm in love with is a hell of a person. She's
yeah.
the most amazing person I know. you know, but it's just circumstance that like, you know, we can't be together at the moment. But it just that's just life, right? And that's just
Right.
life. Like, you know, things just don't always work out how you want them to, but how you view things and your perspective on how you like move forward is probably like more important than, you know, what happened anyway. So,
Yeah. Well,
you
that's
know,
awesome to have like a friend like Royce to just be there for you when you're going through something, like when
yeah,
you're really going through
yeah,
it, and you'll always
yeah.
remember that. I actually have a funny Royce story for you. I graduated from the University of Maryland in spring 2018. Um, I was at my I was living in a house in like probably like 30 minutes from DC, and I think it was the day after. It was the Book of Ryan was coming out, and it was the day after the Caterpillar
I
video
really wish
dropped.
I really wish I was around when the Book of Ryan was being made because we would have made some crazy shit.
Oh, I bet you would have. I actually thought that was
Yeah,
Royce's last
people,
album because that's what I thought he said.
no, like allegory. So
No, no, no,
yeah.
no, I know, but I actually like I remember when that came out. I thought
Oh yeah.
because I
Oh, you
remember,
thought it was gonna be his last?
yeah, I thought it was gonna be his last. Yeah.
Oh no no no! But like he was telling me he's like, man, I wish you were around when like I was making Book of Ryan because
Yeah.
like we could have explored so many different things, right? But
Oh my
you
gosh.
know,
Oh, I bet, dude. I mean, you guys are on a journey now, though, and I think
yeah yeah yeah.
you guys are still there's still gonna be some incredible music, and I'm excited to hear it. Um, but I was
Right.
gonna say so it was I think it was the day after the Caterpillar video dropped, and I'm a huge Eminem fan, huge Royce fan, and so I was going crazy, and then I saw on his Instagram he had posted something. He was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be at DTLR, doing something for DTLR radio or something." I don't know what it was, but I saw the location was in DC. I was like,
Oh, so you're like, oh
and I
shit.
was like, "Oh shoot, wait, what's he doing in DC?" So I was like, "Okay." So I skipped class. I had a propaganda and persuasion class to go to, and I skipped it. And I drove down to DC. And mind you, like I'm like a pretty goofy guy. Like I'm in no like I was wearing high like like high white, like I threw on some clothes. I was wearing high white tight shorts and flip-flops. It was hot. Like I looked so goofy, and I was wearing like a really tight blue shirt and a hat, and I looked like a nut. And well, I am kind of a nut, but so but I drove down there, and right as I'm pulling up, I'm walking into DTLR, and right behind me is like I don't know if it was like a black limo or what it was. It was something, and
Yeah.
him and a few other guys came in, and I came in right before him, and I was so nervous, and I like opened the door, and he just like I stuck out my hand, like I was like, am I dapping him up? Am I shaking him? Like what am I doing? I was so scared. And then he just smiles at me. He was such a nice guy, and I was just like, hey man, I loved your Caterpillar video, and he was like, thanks man. And I actually talked to him before the interview. We talked a little bit,
Oh,
and I actually just started going to I was going to therapy for a little bit, and actually I stopped going, but I need to go back. And but I
I
just
just
started.
I
Say
just
again.
started.
Oh, you just
Like I
started?
started up with a new therapist. Yeah, like recently. Yeah,
Yeah, you got to
just
find a good. Yeah, it
gotta
takes
find
some
a good one.
time. Yeah,
Yeah, it
it
takes
takes some
trial
time.
and error.
But I want to send you this video after this interview because I think you'll really like it. It was just but we were just talking for a little bit. And he was just I could just tell, just such a humble guy, and he was just giving some
Yeah.
awesome advice. And but we made this. I asked if I could record a little video, and I'll send it to you. It was just like
Oh
but it
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's kind of a funny story. But yeah, I need to go back to therapy too, man. You got to find it's. I feel like you have to go through a few therapists before you find like one that really understands you and suits you.
Yeah, and one that's not like, you know, there's some that are just like for the money basically. So they're
Yeah.
just like run of the mill, like, all right, I think you need to do this and this, and they're not really listening, you know. But yeah, like what's good? Damn, you got smoothie. You didn't get me none. My bad. It's a fuck out of here, man. Fuck you, man. Uh, uh, He's actually on the Eminem album as well as an engineer.
Oh,
It's
really? Oh, congratulations. That's awesome,
yeah,
man.
Brian Jones,
Yo,
man.
what's good, man? How's it going?
Good, man. It's going great.
You got a smoothie?
This is a
Oh,
frappuccino.
it's a frat.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah,
Yo, that's
man.
amazing, man. My
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah. So
Um,
we're gonna work on some music later.
oh, that's awesome. Okay. Well, I wanted to ask you too. Do you have a little bit more time or do you need to go?
Oh yeah, I got time. I got
Oh,
time.
cool,
I
cool,
just
cool.
ordered from PF Chang, so that
Oh,
should
that's a
probably take
vibe.
an hour to 45 minutes. So I got time.
Well, I was gonna say you seem like such a humble dude as well, and I wanted to say like, how does you're clearly a man of faith. How does that play into your music? Because I can tell your personality. It just you seem like you're such a nice
Man,
guy, and
yeah. It's trickery. It's tricky because um I'm struggling with the fact that like music is what they call haram.
mhm,
It's like forbidden basically. It's a sin to be like doing music.
okay,
But I came into the religion like 2 years ago, like
mhm,
years ago. So I'm just I'm struggling with it. I'm struggling to
mhm,
kind of wrap my head around it, and eventually I don't want to do music forever. I don't want to be an artist forever. So, I'm just being intentional. I just want to leave my mark and be as positive as I can by just being real, and just hope that like, you know, things things work out for me in that way. But, my faith is very important to me. I plan on leveraging any kind of notoriety that I have and
mhm,
putting it towards, you know, different causes and stuff like that. Just like humanitarian stuff, and just like, I don't want to I don't want to be someone that had an opportunity to help and just didn't help, you know?
mhm,
So I just want to I have plans. I have plans on like a whole thing that I want to do. Like I want to, once I start getting the notoriety and everything for my own music and my own releases that I put out, like
mhm,
there's always going to be a percentage of that publishing that goes to a foundation that the better I do, the better the endowment for the foundation, because I will always put a percentage of my music into that, and that's going to go towards you know Islamic relief and helping feed the poor and like different causes and helping build masjids and stuff like that. So that is I that is something that I definitely want to do. And my faith is paramount to everything. Like, to
mhm.
me, it's the most important thing in my life. And yeah, but it also like, I know that I'm in the right religion because it preaches balance. So I'm not gonna go into the extreme of I need to be a monk and
Okay.
all this. Like, it just preaches balance. Like, live a good life and be good to people, and just do everything in moderation. And
How
I just
oh sorry.
no, I just I pray 5 times a day. I actually pray more than 5 times a day. I just make sure that like I keep with my remembrance of God. It's something that they call dhikr, and I'm just trying to just get better in all aspects, and just try to be good. Like it
Mhm.
brings me peace of mind, and I know that like following that just will bring goodness into my life. Every step of the way.
Would you say, and you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but would you say that you're more liberal or legalistic in your theology of, like, for example, like, you said you do pray 5 times a day. Are you,
Mhm.
would you consider, like, do you partake in Ramadan, and would you do the Hajj,
Yeah,
that kind of thing?
yeah. I mean, I haven't been able to go to Hajj, but I mean, with coronavirus and everything like that. But Ramadan, yeah, of course. Like all of these things are obligatory.
Hmm.
So for me, what I look as obligatory is not like it's a punishment or anything like that. These are set
Yeah.
of guidelines that will help you live a better life. Excuse me. will help you live a better life if you follow them. You're free to not follow them,
Mm,
because Allah has given us free will, and there are consequences to every action that you do. So, for me, like, I don't look at anybody else and be like, oh, they're not following it or anything like that. I'm
right.
worried about myself. I'm worried about just, bringing goodness out of me into the world, and no judging. I mean, obviously, like, I'm human. I'm sure I've judged people,
Yeah.
you know, but just making sure that, like, with intention, that I'm just trying to be a better person each day that I wake up. And yeah, like, I try to observe everything. Like, I will always fall short because humans are not perfect, but you know I will always keep striving to be like the best person that I can be, for sure.
I think that's something that I've struggled with too. Is like, so I'm a Christian, and sometimes I
Hmm.
struggle with like, there's so many Christians that are so they focus so much on the legalism portion of it that they
Hmm.
don't focus on the character of Jesus, the character of his
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
qualities, and
yeah.
how he was loving people and how he was um, he was accepting and he was, he would be with all sorts of people and
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
he wasn't judging them. He wasn't, like being
A
like,
lot of
"I'm
a
doing
lot of
this."
people miss that. A lot of people miss that, and you know, um, it's normal. It's actually like normal for people to miss that, because I don't know, like, people just focus on like rules and this and that, and it's like, yo, focus on being a good person. Focus on treating people correctly. Focus on, you know, just
Yeah,
those basic things are what will that's the foundation for you to, like, then move into more complex things that you can. It's like, let's say it's like somebody who started working out, right?
mhm,
And they start with compound exercises, right? So
yeah,
they're doing, like, bench press and deadlifts and all this stuff. And then as they work out for years and years, they know how to target different muscles with different with different exercises. And that's how it is, right? Get the basics down. The basics are more than enough.
yeah,
But then once you start, you know getting up there, and you're targeting the different muscles, that helps you etch yourself into, building who you feel like you want to be, a lot better. But it's easy. The religion is meant to be easy.
mhm,
It's meant to be easy. To follow it is easy. A lot of the restrictions are meant to be a benefit for you. In 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 the Quran, it says, like, alcohol, stay away from alcohol. There are benefits, but the demerits far outweigh the benefits, so stay away from it. you
mhm,
know it's simple. So, all right, like, you think about it, a lot of people abuse alcohol.
mhm,
A lot of people abuse alcohol.
yeah,
So, you know, just different things like that. Like, it just, there's always wisdom behind something. It's not just, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this.
right,
We just live in a society where, it's very individualistic as well. And it's all about, I need to make myself happy, myself. And I will do it to the detriment of everyone around me. Like, Islam is more about, hey, like, the community should be happy as well. Like, you should take care of your family.
yeah,
You should, be mindful of your parents and everything like that. And a lot of times people can't reconcile with that. And I get it. The way that we are in society and how society is set up, it's hard to break that, in your mind. But yeah, like, it's good to care about people.
yeah. Well, we're such an individualistic society. Like, I think we've seen that a lot with COVID. Like, people
Yeah.
are just looking out for themselves. Like, they're
Yeah,
not
like the ones that don't want to wear masks. It's just like, you'll be helping somebody.
right. Yeah.
Just do- like just going into the grocery store and not like, you know, giving out germs. Like you'll just be helping
Yeah.
somebody that may not have the immune system that you have and may not be asymptomatic, that could possibly die because you just didn't want to wear that for the 30 minutes that you were going to shop. Like that's selfish,
Yeah,
man.
oh yeah. I completely agree. Yeah, I was in North Carolina this past weekend, visiting a buddy. I actually just got tested today just because I'm gonna see my fiance's family this weekend. And but yeah, I yelled at someone and well, I didn't really yell at them. I just said firmly, like I just said, hey, I was like, hey man, can you like I was like, hey, can you put on a mask? Like essentially you're not being respectful of, the people
Yeah,
around you. And
yeah.
but apparently like I had a buddy from South Carolina, he was saying like, oh, you should see like the people in like the Walmarts there, like half of them like don't even have masks on. Like, holy crap, man, that's
Yeah,
insane.
that's messed up, man.
Yeah, yeah, it's insane. Question for you. Did you just because I wanted to nerd out a little bit, I'm a huge Eminem fan, and I wanted to ask when you're talking to
Mm.
like when you're communicating like with like Eminem's manager or whatever, are you communicating through Royce? Are you sending this through Royce and then Royce
Yeah,
gets M? Okay.
sending it through Royce. Yeah, Royce communicates with him directly, so it's
Okay.
not going through any management or anything like that. Like
Gotcha.
he'll literally like will literally text back and just be like, "I love this," or whatever.
Right.
Like thankfully, everything that I've sent, he's loved. Um, I have one funny thing where Royce was talking to him and he like mentioned my name, my actual name, right? And this was like early on. I think this was before. I think this was like right because he sent me the beat to These Demons and he was like, "Do you mind if would White Gold mind if like he jumped on the hook?" I'm like, "Why would you ask like like of course."
Hey, would you mind? Would you mind just jumping on this
Yeah,
hook
he's
really
like, "What
quick?
do you mind?"
Dude.
What are you talking about? Like he's so respectful, and um, they got into a conversation and he said like he was like Royce was like, yeah, Bobby, blah blah blah. And he was like, who's Bobby? And he was like, White Gold. And he was like, oh, his name is dumb, like just being funny, He's like, Bobby, that's dumb, you know. Like that's just his humor,
Yeah,
And he's
yeah.
like,
That's so funny, man. Holy crap.
yeah, he's like, and then like after that, he just be like, yo, could you tell Bobby like I want to, get a hook or can you change this and this and that? So it's like, it's just it's cool, man. It's really cool. That's a unique position,
Yeah, that's
because
very unique. Have you
people
have you had an
people are
opportunity?
going through
Oh,
like
sorry.
management and everything, and it's so formal.
Yeah,
Like
for
this
sure. Yeah.
pretty easy.
And it could take months to respond if you're going through like so many different
This
parties.
one is like if I send something, I'm gonna hear back within a few hours.
Yeah, that's crazy. So have you had a direct conversation with Eminem about any of these records?
No, not since like the records came out. Like I'm supposed to go to his studio, but like I just haven't really felt I don't know, like I kind of just want to like come back. Like I've just been going through so much
Yeah, no, I
actually.
get it.
Yeah, I just don't want to like do that. But like yeah, I don't I want to be like in a good mind state or whatever and like possibly like be able to like work on the spot as well. I can work on the spot, it's nothing, but I want to go there and just like with a clear mind. And right now, I don't have like a clear mind, and I'm going through a lot of personal stuff. And yeah, I kind of don't even want to be around anybody really. It's a really hard time for me, but I'm just trying to like put on a brave face and just keep at it. It's tough, but like
It's
I'm
tough,
just
yeah.
trying to. Yeah.
Hey, well, you're doing a really good job, and I think you got so many people who really appreciate we really appreciate your music. We really there's a lot of people who cherish it, and I think not only that, I think one thing to remember and I'm no one to give advice, but I think that a lot of times people like artists, they think that they get value from what they make, but you're valuable for who you are. You're not valuable for what you make. We love what you make, but you're valuable for who you are as a person, whether you make good songs or bad songs or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I've gotten lost in that, before, where I base my value on whether someone likes a song of mine or not, and it's tough because it's no one's gonna like everything,
Yeah.
and
I've been kind of
yeah.
feeling I've been kind of feeling like creatively, like what am I doing? Like I don't know if you get like this. Like I'm in sort of in a creative slump, like because I work for a chiropractor. I make videos, and
Mhm.
a nutty chiro he's a nut man. And but so I work for a chiropractor, and then I also make on the side I do some I help one of my friends companies. He makes like custom wood tables. But like
Oh,
but I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing because like I like this podcast and I'm passionate about hip hop. I'm passionate about talking to people, but I also like the weird stuff. Like I like some of my favorite guys are like Will Ferrell. Like I do like weird shit.
but then I mean, like, you have a blueprint already, Joe
Right, right.
Rogan,
That's true. Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
he, he before, like, what did he do? Like, bring a lot of boxers and those comedians and all of those things, and that was his bread and butter. But then he
Mhm.
would expand to someone, a scientist and whatever, and so
Right.
there's no limit for you to do, to do whatever you like. I feel like we're in an age where being being so niche is being so niche is a good thing, but
Mhm.
then doing whatever you want is also a good thing.
Yeah.
You know, at a certain point, it used to be one or the other. Now it's both. Like, you can be as broad as you want and find success in that, or you could be as narrowed and focused as you want and find success in that. So I feel like if you want to do music, and have it be music, and then
Right.
if you want to go and talk to someone who's like talking about DMT and LSD,
Yeah.
then talk
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
that, and it's, I think, like you said, your values and who you are. So the questions that you're going to ask, how you come off, like
Yeah.
it's, just make sure you're just giving good content, and it'll grow,
Wait, Gold, I appreciate that you're on a podcast called Dick Kid Saves the World.
Yeah.
My name is Jamie. My last name is Dick. And
Oh,
it's
okay.
it's actually Dick. It's Dick, and I might be the last. Well, so it's gonna be interesting. I may be the last Dick standing here soon because I got I got two grandparents. Well, I got four grandparents, but my dad's parents, they're both in their 90s, mid 90s, and
Oh,
they're doing really well. But they've
good.
lived a long life, but I don't know how long we're gonna have them on this earth. And when they pass away, well, so it's interesting, right? I'm in an interesting scenario because my dad, he got remarried after my mom passed away, and he changed his last name to Paul. And then
Oh,
all of my dad's brothers have changed their last name back to the original version of Dick, which is Dick Shinsky. And
oh,
so now it's just me and my grandparents. But I'm getting married in
oh,
October. I'm getting married in October, but so but I'm still, we may take my mom's maiden last name, or my mom's maiden name, which is Connect in honor of her. Um,
mm,
but it's there's kind of a bittersweetness to it because
yeah.
I'm sort of known as the dick, the nutty dick.
Yeah. I mean, shit, keep the dick alive,
Yeah,
man.
man, I got to keep the dick alive, bro.
Dick alive with the progeny. It's crazy because, like, you're blessed, man. But all four of my grandparents died in 2020.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah,
I'm really sorry to hear that.
yeah, it was a tough year, man.
Yeah, it's a tough year.
And none to COVID, which sucks. That, like,
Yeah,
had
yeah.
to be other things, but, like, yeah, it was just crazy. But
Well,
yeah, man.
it's really it's interesting. All of my grandparents, they're fully healthy. And
Mm,
so all of my family's fully healthy, but my mom, she actually passed away from she was paralyzed. She had multiple sclerosis. So she got
oh,
that at a young age, and then it just got really bad to the point where eventually she just couldn't walk or talk anymore. She did sign language, and then eventually she just couldn't
damn,
move her hands anymore.
MS is just so hard, man. I know
Yeah,
a
it's pretty
couple people
crazy.
that are like coping with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it hasn't been, thank God it hasn't been as bad as that.
Mm-hmm.
But a difficult disease to deal with, man. It's difficult.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's definitely something. I don't think they know a lot about it. Like scientists. I don't
Yeah,
know how
I
much
don't
it's.
think.
It's kind of like ALS, I think,
Yeah, yeah,
where
yeah.
like there's not a whole lot of. Now, do
There's
you
not a.
have as a as an well, I guess you're a producer slash singer slash. Would you consider yourself a rapper at all or not really?
Yeah, I mean, my my ex's mom considers me a rapper, so I guess I am a rapper.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, okay, that makes sense. Would you do you have access to the vaccine? Can you take it soon?
Um, I don't even know. Like, I haven't really been, running to take it because I just
Okay.
not the fact that I don't want to take it,
Okay.
but I think that like the elderly and all those people
Right.
need it way more than I do, and I'm fairly inside all the time. I
Yeah, that's
don't
good. Yeah.
I don't like I don't travel. Like if I do travel, I'm going from point A to point B, and I'm basically quarantining in that place. So I don't really feel the need to do it until my number is called, basically.
Mhm.
But yeah, I would never want to like jump the line and try and take the vaccine over people that actually need it.
Yeah. No, that's good. I mean, that's a great perspective to have. I think unfortunately the distribution of it has been really hasn't
It's
been
been
great.
so yeah, man.
Yeah.
We could have done a lot better, and we could have had the the country open this year. I don't think it's gonna happen this year. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be a rough. I mean, people are gonna be out, and like the virus is just still gonna be around, man, and it keeps mutating and
Mutating, that's right. All these variants are coming out, yeah.
variants that are
Unfortunately.
like becoming resistant to what they have already is just like, ugh, what the heck?
Have you heard people say, like I miss the good old days or like they get nostalgic of
I always do that, but
the good
like,
old days? Do you say
what are
that?
the yeah, but what are the good old days? Because I grew up in a
Right.
project. I almost got kidnapped at 7. Uh, crack vials everywhere. Almost got stuck with needles.
Mhm.
My grandmother got robbed. Grew up in a household where there was a lot of like crazy stuff going on. Like those are the good old days, but like, are they really good?
Right, right. So that's what I want to say. Like, I think people, when people say that, they really romanticize, they really romanticize it, and they don't necessarily think about it fully. But
Yeah.
where I'm going with this is, I think I just wanted to go back to this topic really quick, talking about longevity in hip hop, and
Hmm.
and I think a huge factor for people getting frustrated about people like, say like 2 Chains, Eminem,
Right.
Nas, um, whoever, yeah, Jay Electronica, I don't know,
Jay-Z.
Fat Joe came out with an album a year and a half ago, something. Like, like you see these people, and I think a lot of these people are strictly critiquing these artists on nostalgia that they think back
Mm,
to early 2000s or something like, oh gosh, remember this? It's like they're so nostalgic and they're like, oh, it's never
yeah.
going to be like this again. Well, no, it's not
Yeah.
going to be like this again, but it's evolving and it's getting better. And like,
Yeah.
what if your favorite artist is actually becoming more skilled than they've ever been? Like,
Yeah.
and
And that's like Royce. Like
yeah.
he- he's for me. I feel like he's leveled up crazy because he just knows how to. My PF Chang's is here, so I'm
Oh,
gonna not. I'm not gonna get off, but I'm gonna go grab it
oh,
from
please. Yeah, please
from
go
the.
grab it, please.
Okay.
I gotta pee. I might pee really quick while White Gold is gone. I may take a quick pee. Sorry, man. I had to pee.
That's all good. So I fasted today. It's good to fast on for religious reasons. Mondays and
Mhm.
Thursdays. So I fasted today. No, this is my first meal of the day. I'm about to fuck it up.
Oh, that's good. I was in summer of 2017. I was teaching English at this school in in Indonesia it was a University of Pamekasan, and
Oh,
I was there during Ramadan, and so we would, we wouldn't eat during the day either, and
yeah.
damn, dude, it was tough. Like it was, but it was funny
Or
because
drink, you know?
yeah, well, it was also funny because a lot of Indonesians smoke, like they'll go through a lot of cigarettes, and but some of the more serious ones, like if they're like a little bit more, if they're a little bit older, more disciplined about like Ramadan, they won't smoke like while they're fasting. So
Yeah.
I'd stay up like late at night till like 4 in the morning. And these guys, like we would just, I mean, I smoked a little bit, but not really. And these guys would be, we would eat, and then we'd go to these coffee bars, and a lot of these guys would go through like 3 packs, like all because they hadn't smoked all day.
Damn.
So they would just go through like 3 packs. We'd just be hanging out. And so it's kind of funny, like, but it's
Crazy.
tough. It's tough to do it every day. You got to be very disciplined, especially the whole month of, I think it was June then.
Yeah, that's when it's like long days.
What'd you get at PF Chang's?
I got spicy chicken with fried rice.
Oh, dude, that's fire. Oh my gosh. That looks really
Yeah.
good. What are what's going on with the Grammys this year? Is it virtual? What's
Oh,
happening?
bro. I thought it was gonna be virtual, but you know how these institutions are. They're gonna force it for it to
Right.
be like live. They're probably gonna try and like social distance and not bring anybody that's like doesn't belong, I guess, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um
Are you go?
yeah.
Sorry, will you be attending if it's in person?
Probably not.
Probably not. What about Royce?
I think he probably will. If it's in person, he probably
Hmm.
will.
Yeah.
You know,
Do you
I
think
think
you?
it's his first
Oh, sorry.
nomination. I think it's his first nomination. No, like solo nomination.
Solo nomination. Yeah. Because he's done a lot of stuff. Like, didn't he? Wasn't he originally supposed to be? Well, there's a Renegade version of him and Eminem, right? And then didn't he write
Yeah,
that or something?
yeah, that's the original. He has a verse on it on the original Renegade, which is a monster.
Dude, yeah, I've heard it. It's crazy. Wait, didn't he also write like one of Jay-Z's verses or something for something? No.
No.
Maybe I was, oh no, you know what I was thinking? I was thinking Jay-Z, he wrote Still Dre, I think. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, Dizzy wrote Still Dre.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He wrote the whole song.
Oh, he wrote the whole song.
He wrote Snoop part as well.
Dude, that song
Mm-hmm.
is such a gosh, that whole album, man.
Masterpiece.
I wanted to say this. I don't know if you know anything about this, and you probably can't say if you do. But dude, how crazy would it be? I've heard rumors that Dr. Dre is dropping an album here soon. And well, I've heard rumors that it's Detox, but I've also heard rumors.
I heard that it's
You heard that
Detox.
too?
Yeah. I heard that it's Detox. I hope it's Detox, but I hope he calls it something else.
Yeah, well, here's what I thought would be cool is if, imagine this, because so it was 2001, The Chronic, right? Imagine if he released like 2021, The Chronic. Like that would be crazy, dude. And he got all those guys like Exhibit and Snoop and it's like Sticky Fingers and like all I don't know, just like a bunch of like an arsenal of guys.
I would hope like he does something like that. I feel like that would be more viable than to name Detox, you know?
Right.
I think Detox with such weight and gravity because people have been waiting for it. You
Yeah.
know, you're almost like set up to fail.
Yeah.
Because people's expectations are just through the roof.
Yeah. When do you think you're going to be on the Royce and Lupe show? Are you going to hop on here soon? I saw what's is it Maj? I saw Maj is going to be on it.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he is. I just saw today right before I was talking to you. He's going to be on there.
I had no clue.
Yeah. Dude, I got to say, man, White Gold, you're a vibe, bro. Like you're here for it.
Yeah, man. I'm regular, man. I'm just a Regular dudes just trying to do good in the world, man.
Well, that's one of the problems with social media is, well, it's not just social media. Social media didn't do this, but I think it's fame too, is that people, there's almost like a dehumanization going on. Like people don't think that like famous people are people. Like, or like they don't, they
Wow.
think
I mean,
they almost view them as like godly.
not even famous, and the stuff that people like DM me, I'm like, are you guys like crazy? What the fuck is going?
Wait, okay, tell me, what's like some of your crazy DMs? I'm so curious.
Um, asking if they can come have sex with me.
Oh shoot.
Um,
Oh my gosh.
asking me to sing to them. Asking me to give them Eminem's phone number.
Oh my gosh.
Asking me to give them Royce's phone number. Um, people telling me to give them shout outs so that they can show their employer.
Okay, wait, let's just picture that for a second.
Random shit. And the thing, a lot of what I get is, can you sing the Zeus hook into the phone for me? I'm like, just listen to the record.
I'm just picturing this, like, okay, so like my best friend, he works for a company called Intralocks, and they make conveyor belt systems. I'm just picturing him going to his boss and be like, "Hey, boss, I got a shout out from White Gold on Instagram," and his boss would probably be like, I don't care. Go make your conveyor belts." That
But
is, well, the thing about one of the thing about Eminem fans is that there are some like, I mean, a lot of fan bases, like there's some crazy fans, but there is some like kinky fan, like some crazy like some
out of this world,
weird. Yes, out of
weird.
this world.
Very true.
Very out of this world.
And I've with all of them so far. It's funny.
I read something. No, I saw an interview of Eminem's old bodyguard or security guard when he was first
Mm.
starting out, and he was saying how they were at like this thing, and there was this fan, this like crazy fan. It was like when the Slim Shady LP came out. There's this fan. He was bald, and he had this giant tattoo of Eminem on his head. And you know, Eminem hadn't been famous for that long, and he saw this, and he's like, "Oh my gosh! Like, what the hell? Someone got a tattoo of me on their head," and it's like, and then so they're like, "Oh, like let's let him in." So they let him in, and like he was talking to Eminem, and but he says to the bodyguard, he goes, "I want to snake bite Eminem. I want Eminem to snake bite me." Like, and I didn't even know what that was. Like, what the hell is that?
What
Essentially,
does that even mean?
I guess he wanted Eminem to, you know, like to suck him off. Um,
Oh,
and I'd never heard that term before, and I was like, "What the?" And I
yeah,
kept
me
thinking,
either. I never heard that term.
yeah, but this guy, I think he was just a nutcase, and well, I think you know what it's similar is like, um, well, I don't know if this is true, but I think that there are, you know, I struggle with mental health. I think a lot of people struggle with mental health, and but I do think that there is something where there's like certain topics. I think we learned this in one of my psychology classes, like where people who are suffering from schizophrenia tend to latch on to certain topics. Or become more invested in certain topics. Like I know aliens is one thing. Like I actually been on a huge alien kick. I actually believe in aliens, but
Me too.
do you believe in aliens too?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I
what are
don't think
you? Oh, sorry.
I don't think God created this universe and this vastness and just put only us here. You know,
Yeah. What is the Islamic stance on aliens? Because for
I don't think
Christians,
there is a stance on aliens.
okay.
It says nothing about it in the Quran, and
Well,
there's
what about the
nothing.
community? Like, what is the community? How would they respond to the idea of
I would,
aliens?
I'm pretty sure that I wouldn't say for sure, but I'm probably certain that people believe aliens exist
Okay.
more often than not. You know.
Well, I know within the Christian community, there is sometimes, especially from like really tough evangelicals, you know, like when you start questioning things, like people don't like that. They don't like the questioning. And it's questioning is good. Questioning, it's good.
Questioning is good, and that is questioning is promoted in Islam.
Oh, well, that's good. Well, that's good.
You're supposed to ask questions. You're supposed to ponder on things. You're supposed to use your brain that God gave you.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
have you heard about this COVID relief bill? Have you heard what's in it?
I haven't heard what's in it. Please enlighten me,
So there's about
because that's the reason why the Republicans are not voting for it.
well, so there's a I think there's 140 days left, maybe a little bit less or a little more. Last time I checked, it was 180 days, but so it was a while ago. But basically, the federal government has 140 days to release within this COVID relief bill. There's a bunch of other stuff, but one of the aspects of it, which seems super random, is they have to release some to an extent. I mean, obviously they are going to keep some things to
Oh, they have to
acknowledge
declassify the UFO files
the
and
UFO
shit.
files. Yeah. And
I remember that. Yeah,
you
I
saw
remember.
that? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, dude, there's just so many fascinating things like these crafts. Like, and remember this summer, I don't know if you remember in this summer, the Pentagon put out a statement saying like we are in possession of crafts that are not of this world.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember that.
Have you ever heard of the Oumuamua incident in
No.
2017? There's a Columbia professor from Columbia, and he is so essentially he just came out with this book a couple months ago. I think it was a month ago, and there was this object flying. It came from another galaxy, and the Columbia University did a study. There's a 91% chance, 92% chance that it is cigar shaped, or actually, I'm sorry, not cigar shaped. They thought it was cigar shaped at first. It's actually disc shaped, and it has a propulsion system like it has a propulsion system like we've never seen before. It was very close to the sun, and it was going at like a speed in which we've never seen before. And
Shit.
this propulsion system has been these vehicles moving at these propulsion systems with these fast to stop propulsion systems have been there's a whole record of seeing them. Like, I don't know if you've heard of Bob Lazar's story or the Commander Dave
Yeah.
Graver.
Yeah.
A lot of these things are crazy. And one of the most
I remember seeing aliens when I was a kid.
No, wait,
and,
really? Like you saw aliens?
Like not like I mean a UFO, like I don't know, man. It was I tried not to. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like me and my rational brain is like, oh, it could have been something else, but it literally were like flying, and then it stopped, and then just like disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was like 4 or 5 of them. One stopped, disappeared, and then one just like it was making movements that was just like you can't make movements on with a plane like that. It was just like
Holy crap,
stop
man.
the car, that type of stuff. And
Oh my
then
gosh.
it was crazy. And I was probably like 9, 10 at the time. And in college, my great grandmother died.
Okay.
And it took me like a year to like really like process it. And she was like my favorite person in the world. Like I couldn't sleep when I was a kid. I couldn't sleep
Yeah.
without attaching myself to her arm and
Yeah.
falling asleep in her bed. Like she was my person, and I just couldn't reconcile it, so I just like repressed it. And I
Yeah.
was listening to Between the Buried and Me, actually.
Oh wow.
The Colors album. And there's a song called Ants of the Sky,
Mm-hmm.
and there's just this part that comes on, and the words are like sleep on, fly on, in your mind you can fly. Like it's just like a repeated part, and it just I like that came on, and I just broke down crying.
Wow. Yeah.
And it reminded me of her so much. But then, like a couple years later, I have a dream, right? So I'm gonna tell you this dream. This is the weirdest dream. I can't believe I'm telling.
Wait,
people
this is actually crazy because I was literally about to ask you like, well, I'll ask you, but like about dreams and visions. But sorry, keep going.
Yeah. So all right. So I have this dream where it's me, Just Blaze, Lupe Fiasco, and we're climbing Mount Kilimanjaro.
Holy
Right?
crap. That is a
I'm
group.
not familiar with Lupe. Like, I don't know Lupe Fiasco as like a, but I'm Just Blaze is like a friend of mine.
Okay.
So it makes sense that he's there.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So we're climbing Mount Kilimanjaro, right? And as we're climbing, these asteroids just start falling from the sky.
Uh-huh.
Like boom, just like crashing the earth and just like making craters and shit. Like I'm seeing like craters all around me, and I'm like, I look up in the sky and I'm like, holy shit, this is the end of the world.
Oh
Yeah,
my
and I'm
gosh.
just like, and I was just like, man, this is fucked up. And one is like coming down towards me, right? Like literally right coming down, and it's blue and orange. Like it just has like, you know how Bruce Leroy had the glow around him?
Yeah.
So it had like a blue and orange glow around it, right?
Wait. It was an orb? Like,
It was like a rock, basically.
dude, that's crazy. There have been multiple orange orb within like a lot of these alien stories that I've heard. There have been a
Oh
lot of
shit.
people that have experienced there's a woman in her garden a case that I read about recently. She was in her garden and there was an orange orb that came to her. And there have been I've heard of other experiences like this. Now I don't know if it was like a rock, but it was a ball shaped. So I don't know if it was like
Yeah, this was
jagged.
like a ball shape. It was like almost like an asteroid, right?
Holy crap.
So it's coming and then it just stops in midair and then does like a right angle and then shoots back up
Oh my
and
gosh.
disappears, right?
Bro.
Kind of like my childhood thing that it did, like when I saw the UFO. So it shot up and I was like, oh shit. So I look at the craters and aliens are coming out of the craters. Like it was like
Oh shoot.
an invasion,
Oh my gosh.
more so
What did they look
like
like?
it was more of, they weren't humanoid. It was more like insects, kind of.
How vivid is this dream?
Very vivid, like to the point where I'm seeing it now. Like I see every aspect of it now, and um yeah, so they're like black. They have like 4 or 5 legs, and they have like the they had the shell of like cockroaches.
Oh my gosh.
Almost, yeah, they almost like cockroaches, right? And then like they were coming out, and then I was like, oh no, fuck that, I gotta go see my family. So it being a dream, everything just turns into 2D, and I'm like standing on like the map of Africa, and I run to West Africa, where like my mom is from Ghana, my dad is from Cameroon. So
Okay.
I run to Ghana, and then like it becomes the world again. It went from 2D. I was able to run there, and then it becomes the world again. And then I go to my mom's old house, and I open the door, and I was like looking for my mom, and guess who is there? My great grandmother.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Right,
That's
my great
so
grandmother standing there, smiling, right, and then the wind takes her like away, and she like disintegrates like embers, like
wow.
yeah, like embers just like disintegrating, right? And I
Oh my
was like,
gosh.
I'm ready to go, I was like, I'm ready to go. And then I run out, and I go around the corner,
Mm.
and I see that like Lockheed Martin. I don't know why I saw, but like Lockheed Martin, they're like, people are pushing cars and metal into this one point, and out are flying fighter jets.
Wait.
Because,
At Lockheed Martin?
because
Holy crap, man.
yeah, like that. It was just like we have to fight this shit. Like
Dude, that
so,
is
like in goes like cars and all this metal and all this shit, and out comes like fighter jets, and like the world is just like, it's like full on war. And then I wake up.
oh my god. I Holy crap, that is. I wish I had dreams like that. Like I've prayed for dreams where like I could see my mom, like I could see my mom, talk to my mom, that kind of thing. But my dreams don't tend to be very vivid at all.
Mm.
Like I don't really remember them, but they're so actually I don't know if you can tell. You probably can't tell because I have a pretty bit long beard right now. My mouth is really swollen actually because I grind my teeth at night. And I gotta go to the doctor here soon. But I just made an appointment today. But like, so my mouth is really swollen because I grind my teeth really, like I have like a lot of anxiety. Like I'm on medication for anxiety, and so,
I
but I can't
grind my teeth a lot too.
say it again.
I think I grind my teeth a lot too.
You
Like
grind your teeth a
when
lot too, yeah. And so I
yeah,
clench. I'm clenching. I'm grinding, and I get a lot of this
yeah.
stress out that that I at night because I don't usually tend to. Sometimes I bottle things in and then I'm working on it. Like like sometimes I'll bottle things in a little bit too much, and then sometimes I don't work through things the way that I should a lot of times. But so I think I
Mm.
take a lot in my sleep, and but I have these night terrors. But the crazy thing is, like I scream and I mutter, but I don't. When I wake up, I don't ever remember anything. But I like wake up to myself screaming. So most of the time it'll be I'll scream "Dad" or I'll scream "Help" or I'll scream "I hate you." Those are the most common ones, which are odd. But one of them
Have you
recently,
taped yourself?
no, I've never taped myself, but
Good.
there's one. This is crazy. There's one couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I
Hold on.
I
Getting
was
water. I'm
oh yeah. You get water. Um, but 3 weeks ago, can you still hear me? But okay, so 3 weeks ago, I was sleeping over in my fiance's parents' house in her brother's old bedroom, and and she's a teacher, so she does virtual teaching right now. They're not back in school. So she
yeah.
woke up and she was gonna go virtual teach, and then she saw like she comes past my bedroom and she hears like muttering, and she doesn't think anything of it because like I was quarantined with her family. She's heard like me scream in the middle of the like she's heard me scream stuff. And she was going to virtual teach, and then she hears, and she woke me up after this because she was like, I can't let the kids hear this. I've never said this sentence in my life. I've never said this sentence in my life. I said, I don't even talk like this. I screamed, eat a dick, you fucking cocksucker.
Whoa.
And I've never said that before in my life. Never. And I don't know what I was dreaming. And she woke me up and she was like, Jamie. And I was like, oh, what's up? Sorry, I was sleeping. You woke me up. She was like, what were you dreaming? Like, what's going on? And I was like, oh,
Whoa.
I was like, I don't know. Just I was sleeping. And I didn't think I was dreaming anything. And then she was like, well, I can't have you speaking like that because I'm about to have teach third graders. And I was like, shoot, I didn't know. I had no idea. So I got
Oh,
some,
man.
yeah. So I got to figure some, I guess I got some demons or something because maybe I need to get hypnotized or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of studies with sleep therapy and all that type of stuff. Um, yeah, maybe you just, it's anxiety,
These
that's
demons coming
crazy.
from my neck.
Yeah, demons coming for your neck, man. Like it's just like, I, I used to sleepwalk when I was younger. When I was, from like 5 to like 10 years old, 10, 11 years old.
Mhm.
I used to wake up and like scratch the walls, like literally like scratch the walls like this.
Oh, really? You did?
um,
You said you sleepwalk? You sleepwalk too?
yeah, I did. Yeah,
You
when I
did?
was young.
Okay.
Yeah. I get sleep paralysis.
Oh,
Man,
really?
the first time I ever got sleep paralysis was in history class my freshman year, and I was sitting in the front of the classroom, and
Holy
I put
crap!
my head in, right, and I remember just being like I finally was able to like get out of it, and the
Oh my
teacher was like,
gosh!
"What's like?" She's like, "Are you okay? Like, what's going on?" And I was just like, "I don't know. It just felt like I was dying just now." And she was like, "Oh, that's sleep paralysis." And that was the first time I ever heard of sleep paralysis.
Isn't part of that breathing? Like you can't breathe? Part of it, right? Or no?
Is it? I don't even know
Because I
because
have
it
a
does.
buddy. I have a
It
buddy with
does feel
something
like
similar.
somebody's on your chest. But I thought it was like you waking, like your mind waking up before your body does.
Oh yes, you're right. Okay. Yeah. There's some crazy. Sorry, wait. Oh, just really quickly. This just made me think of that. You know that line in These Demons that you wrote when you said, "Told my dogs I'm going to get right in a year." Have you
Hmm.
ever, for some reason, people hate on this album. I really love this album. I love the J. Cole Sideline Story album. And for me, I love it. People think it's too pop or whatever. I don't know, but I really like it. And
The thing about it is that like I think people didn't like it because the singles weren't
I
as
like Workout and that kind of. There was very
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah,
No, I get it. I completely understand. Um,
but the album was solid.
but there's a skit on that album where J. Cole talks about where he got signed to Rock Nation, and
Mhm.
like he gets pulled over, and I think he doesn't have a license or something, so he spends the night in jail. And he's like, and he was just like, he's so excited. He's like, this is the best night in jail I've ever spent. Like, they have no idea. They have no idea I just got signed to Rock Nation. And it's just like,
Mhm.
I was just thinking about it, just like, man, that's such a crazy, like, when you have something that the world is gonna, like, the world's gonna go crazy about, but no one knows. Um, like for example, is it true that you had to wait like 6 months before you could tell anybody about You Gonna Learn? Like, what was that like?
Yeah, I found out. So I did You Gonna Learn actually in this room.
You made it in this
That
room? Holy crap, man.
yeah, I did it in this room, like literally right there.
Dude, that song is fire, bro. Like that
I love that.
chorus. Oh my gosh, dude. That's like one of my favorite. I'm a product of properly hopping up out of that poverty. Dude, that shit is
Yeah,
so good.
so good. But yeah, I made it in this room. Like I was in the other room with Royce, and he had it on like repeat, probably for like 2 3 hours because we were just talking. It was in the background, and
Uh,
I was like, "Are you doing anything with this beat? Like, let me jump on it. Like, let me put a hook on it." And so I put a hook on it, and I put a verse on it as well. And it was supposed to be like a posse cut with like his brother Kid Vicious on it.
mhm.
Um, my friend Young Rock was supposed to be on it, and then we're gonna have like Ashley Sorrell, who's oh my god, I love her. You
Yeah.
guys need to like know about Ashley Sorrell, man. She's a fucking fire.
I don't think I know. I don't think I know her.
She's on what's the song with Benny the Butcher on over
Oh wait, I know
whatever.
Over the Limit or Over with Dom Kennedy. No.
No, it's Royce on Allegory. It's called
Oh my bad.
Overcomer.
Oh,
She's on there.
Overcomer. Yeah, with West Side Gun and Benny the Butcher.
Yeah,
Dude,
she's on there.
Benny the Butcher. I was listening to his album. Holy crap, man. That album is fire.
Yeah, that album is super fire. But yeah, so she was supposed to be on it, and yeah, I just did it, and Royce came in through the door and like heard it and was just like, okay, he's like, it's almost there, like maybe just that one line, it just needs to be a little catchier. But he said that, but I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna just repeat a line. So at the end, I repeated, but I pray you see tomorrow, little boy, you're gonna learn. And then that was it. Every other line was, there. Um, but yeah, I still have the voice note of that because I recorded myself like actually. Let me see if I.
Yo, that's crazy, man. Oh my gosh. Whew, that album. I mean, that song is so good. Never so dope.
Right?
It was so dope. Was it half not? Come on, kids. Then, dude, you know what's crazy? Did Dre produce that song or did Royce produce that whole song?
Royce produced it.
Dude,
Yeah.
I love the. I mean, I've heard
But
this.
then like well, Louis Resto like added some like stuff on top of it for sure.
Okay, because I was gonna say like I've heard the reason I say Dre is just because I know he's so meticulous with his ad libs and like the stuff that he has in the background. But like that song is so meticulous with like like when Eminem jumps over the fence, it's got like that. The dogs are coming,
Oh
like all of
yeah,
that, and he's like you hear the chain. Like, dude, that is it's so people. I feel like
that's it.
those things are
I think
lost.
I
People
think
people
M
put
and like Louis Resto, put those like
yeah.
knickknacks in to make it like more personal. Yeah.
It's a shame when people. Oh, this is it. Oh, let me hear.
January 19th.
All them silly cars and the swerve you can earn. All them silly cars and you swerve.
This is literally 20 seconds in.
Bro, let's go. That's the original, baby.
I already had the pray see tomorrow, little boy, you gonna learn. Like,
Dude, that
20 seconds in, bro.
gosh. Holy
Yes,
crap, man.
it just comes, man.
How do you did you have to develop that ear over time, or does it come naturally?
I've just been obsessed with lyrics ever since I was a kid. That
Uh-huh.
like I'm able to just pull from wherever I need to pull from, and I read a lot too. So
Mm-hmm.
you know, I definitely encourage like people to read, especially if you're gonna be an artist. Like read books. You know, you're gonna know how to approach different things. You're gonna know how to say things in a way that you know is probably not like the mainstream way to say it, but it's cool. You
Right.
know, to be unique and stuff like that. So for me, like I used to write lyrics down in notebooks. I used to have a ton of notebooks, just write
Yeah.
lyrics down and like learn them. So I know so many lyrics. So yeah, I don't know. For me, like that just like felt like this menacing thing of like I gotta teach somebody a lesson, you know?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you're
Uh,
gonna learn. I love that, dude. Oh my
you know,
gosh.
like I praise you tomorrow, little boy, you gonna learn. Like, you know, just like, you know, just like, yo, you're fucking up and this could be the death of you,
Yeah.
basically. You know? Yeah.
Oh my gosh, man. Well, dude, it seems like your career is really it seems like it's just getting started. It seems like you've got so much to
Yeah.
give, man. So much to give.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
excited
man.
to hear what you've got coming, dude. I'm a fan
Yeah.
and I
Well, I'm gonna link you to like uh my like Dropbox folder, like my private Dropbox folder.
oh
I
dude, I
just want
love
you
that.
yeah, I just want you to hear the songs that I got like and those are just like songs that I did last year. So
Yeah. Oh wow. Oh my
I have
gosh.
songs. I have over 100 songs like
Dude, you have
ready to
over 100. That's amazing. Oh my
ready
gosh.
to go. Over 100, probably possibly 200 songs.
Wow.
Yeah, ready to go. So yeah, but I still like making shit because I feel like I get better every day. So I still like making shit and making stuff fresh. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Um I was gonna say, well, I would love to talk to you for a lot more because this has just been such a vibe. But unfortunately, my computer is gonna die here pretty soon, and I have a pretty janky system going on. Um, but dude, I gotta say, man, like first of all, it's been so awesome talking to you, and I think you're a blessing to so many people, and I just want to encourage you, just keep
We'll
doing
do
what
a
you're
part two.
doing. Say again.
I said we'll do a part two.
Dude, yeah, dude, let's do a part two. I would love to, man. This has been super fun and live from Heaven Studios, dude. It's awesome, man. You heard right here the original version of You Gonna Learn. That's great. That's where it
Yeah,
started, bro. That's where it
yeah,
started, dude. I would love to I want to send you some. We should talk aliens again. I'm fascinated by it.
yeah.
There's some stuff that's
I think
super
that'd be
interesting. I'd love to
good.
talk to you
Fuck
about.
yeah. I'll give you my number after we get off this, and then you just text me. Yeah.
All right, bro. That sounds amazing, dude. Oh my gosh, I'd love to. Well, guys, White Gold here. It's been an awesome, super fun evening. This has been an encouragement to me, man. It's been, it's been such a crazy year, but I'm super thankful that you were, giving me the time of the day to talk, and I'm super. I had a great time hearing everything that you had to say, and your music is a blessing to the world. You're an encouragement, and I think that God's really going to use you in a lot of different ways here. So we're excited, and I think the fans are excited. And yeah, man, I'm excited to get to know you a little bit more. So
Yeah, me
thanks
too.
for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, man. Of course, anytime. Part 2 coming soon. White
Yeah,
Gold. Hey,
hell yeah.
remember, White Gold. You heard it first. White Gold messes with Dick Kid.
Yeah, fuck you.